is Noah Pagney. Welcome to WC News. Today we are discussing the topic of South African faith communities during the apartheid era. Apartheid was a time of racial segregation in South Africa from 1948 to the early 1990s. During this time, faith communities formed a variety of different opinions on the issue and communicated those opinions to their surrounding areas. Here to talk more about faith communities in support of apartheid is Tammy Trump. Take it away, Tammy.
Thanks, Noah. The Dutch Reformed Church was known for its support towards apartheid policy. The DRC used biblical references such as the Curse of Ham and the Tower of Babel to prove that God believes in segregation. The Curse of Ham begins when Ham, Noah's son, walks in on him naked. At this time, this was a sign of extreme disrespect, especially to the elders. As a result, Noah curses both Ham and his son Canaan. Because Ham and Canaan shared a darker complexion, anyone with darker skin for the rest of history was condemned and segregated for the rest of society. The DRC interpreted this as God's way of showing his desire for racial segregation. The Tower of Babel symbolized a similar idea for the DRC. The Tower of Babel describes a village of people building a tower tall enough to reach heaven. God did not approve of their actions and decided to make them all speak different languages and disperse across the nation so they could no longer build the tower. The DRC interpreted this as God wanting a racial hierarchy in society as well as a distinct split amongst people of other races. In both of these instances, the DRC believed God was showing that racial policy, such as apartheid, was of his will.
Thank you, Tammy, for talking about the different theologies that the Dutch Reformed Church used to support apartheid. Next, we have Natalie showing the opposing views from religious alliances such as the South African Council of Churches.
As previously stated, the DRC used biblical references in order to support the separation of South Africans. Even though these faith communities used the Bible to support apartheid, a number of religious groups against apartheid refused to utilize biblical texts to support a separation of races. Examples of this include the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church of South Africa, September 1948, who were strongly against the idea of depriving Africans of already limited parliamentarian representation. The Anglican Church of South Africa bishops believed that human rights were rooted in the Christian faith. The Methodist Church of South Africa believed no person of any race should be deprived of constitutional rights or privileges merely on the grounds of race. Under these ideals, these different communities banded together under the common goal to end apartheid. They worked through their differences and joined to become the South African Councils of Churches, or the SACC. Led by Desmond Tutu, the SACC pushed for peaceful protests and united the country to end apartheid and celebrate equality among all races.
Thank you, Natalie. Now that we understand the concept of apartheid in relation to faith communities, we have Jordan Lopez speaking with Tom Hyatt, a manager at a local South African youth center. Tom witnessed firsthand the effects of faith communities on apartheid as well as the racial reform that took place. Take it away, Jordan.
Thanks, Noah. Now on to our interview with Tom Hyatt, a manager at a local youth center here in South Africa.
Oh,
How's it going, Tom?
hi. I'm doing great. The weather's beautiful today. It hasn't been like this in weeks.
I know, right? Anyways, I have a few questions for you based on faith communities. My first question is, in what ways has your faith community impacted South Africa?
So, the faith communities impacted South Africa because of the change in ideals when discussing the value system of the government.
That's good. That it had a positive impact, though.
Yeah.
My next question is, have you directly witnessed the effects of faith communities on apartheid?
Yes, I have. I have directly witnessed the effects of faith communities on apartheid. And because of the involvement of the faith communities, the Republic of South Africa had a great and improved transition from apartheid to a democratic style.
Interesting. I find that really, really cool that the faith communities created a peaceful transition from apartheid to a democratic system. My third question, how did faith communities contribute to the apartheid era?
So basically, faith communities contribute to the apartheid era by leading churches to support the system of apartheid by the selective, non-contextual utilization of the Bible. And within the government, many leaders were also appointed to critical positions, and that's how they supported the government's ideals.
Interesting. I read about that in an article about how Christianity had an effect on apartheid earlier this week.
Mhm.
Anyways, my fourth question is, to what extent do faith communities involve leadership?
So faith communities involve leadership because of the critical thinking of leadership responses against apartheid.
Leadership is a key theme in our everyday lives in WCU honors program. So my last question is, what specific ideologies gave faith leaders a voice in the movement against apartheid?
So the specific ideals that gave faith leaders a voice in the movement against apartheid included inequality, disenfranchisement, and non-egalitarian societies.
Thank you so much for your time today, Tom. Greatly appreciate it.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you for answering all the questions. We really appreciate your time. We will keep in touch. And now back to you, Noah, in Westchester University, PA.
Thank you, Jordan, and thank you, Tom. To conclude, faith communities played a predominant role in the discussion and political reform of apartheid. In the future, those communities will continue to affect South African culture and society. Until then, I'm Noah Pagney, and this is WC News. Have a nice day.